Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Sekarang ni kat rumah saya ni tengah hujan lebat sangat. Saya harap boleh dengar suara saya. Okay, kita dah pass to subtopic which is flowchart dan juga scratch which is block programming. So sekarang ni kita akan masuk kepada bahasa pengaturcaraan Python yang sebenar which is a programming language. Generasi yang keempat, right, which is Python. Currently Python dah pergi kepada Python 3. Okay, so saya nak kena kenalkan dulu you all dengan Python ni, lepas tu barulah you all boleh go on your own and try to look into all the video that have been prepared dalam kita punya e-learning and then do the task that have been prepared. Alright, so the end of this lesson you should be able to understand what is actually Python as a programming language, dia punya data structure, variable, how to actually add a comment in the programming environment, as well as input and output syntax. Okay, what is actually Python? Python is a powerful multi-purpose programming language created by Guido van Rossum. So this is actually, Python is actually not an old language, it's a new language starting just 1996 if I'm not mistaken. It's a very simple, easy to use syntax compared to the previous version or other programming language, making it the perfect language for someone to try learning computer programming for the first time. So that's the reason why we have switched from C++ to semester previous to semester. Before this, we are actually introduced programming to the students using C++ language. Okay, ini adalah main Python punya portal. This is the website of the Python. So Python is actually an open source programming language that you can freely download and use the integrated development environment for free. Okay. So kalau you pergi kepada link ni, you can go to the Python.org website and the community is there. Right, you can download Python untuk build up the programming. Latest is version 3.8. This is previous version. Now 3.8 kalau tak silap saya. So you can download Python from the website for free. Okay, this is another reason why we switch from C++ to Python because it's free. If you are using C++, it's actually a programming language yang dimana kita kena beli dia punya software untuk kita run the programming. Alright, how to interact with Python? Okay, so Python ada dua mode. One is interactive mode. So in interactive mode, we just type the instruction one line at a time. Alright, so the shell will accept the code and then dia akan translate the code. Right, so you can also write short line program or import pada macam ni lah So satu-satu, type satu-satu. This is the Python interactive mode, kita panggil shell kita panggil shell system ni. So kita type code satu cara, satu line kita enter, they will just introduce the output yang akan dipaparkan. Alright, so kalau kita nak exit, kita tutup je, tekan dia punya X, this one. Okay, once you install. Alright, another one ialah idle, IDLE. So IDLE is actually a Python punya interactive mode, one integrated punya development punya environment. So kita ada interactive mode dan tools untuk writing. So idle written in Python and show off Python's considerable ability. So this is idle. Okay, ini adalah idle punya view where kita create file new text, kita save, kita run, kita type all the code, dan bila kita run, kita akan nampak apakah paparan output yang akan dijalankan. Alright. So IDLE stand for Integrated Development and Learning Environment. So it's actually an editing program written by Guido van Rossum himself. So IDLE is installed. Bila kita install saja Python, automatically you will get this idle as the output module. Okay, if you can see, this is the text editing punya view. Okay, this is the text editing punya view. Di mana kita type on the code dia kat sini. Lepas tu, kalau kita run, kita akan dapat this screen, this output. Ini sebagai output. Alright, so this is what we do with Python. This is actually the programming punya environment. Alright, so if you install, this is for offline. So saya encourage those yang ada komputer but want to use less internet punya data, install lah Python ni. You can install Python. Then you can use IDLE as the writing tools and the programming punya environment to run and test the output. But it's not optimum for larger project. For us, okay, because we are just learning, you are just studying. Right, so IDLE integrates editing activity, compiling, debugging, and testing in one single environment. Ada banyak IDE yang lain-lain, tapi I'm not going to introduce you to that. But this is some of the names: Sublime Text, Phyton, Visual Studio Code, Spider, dan sebagainya. But the basic thing IDLE dah enough for us to learn Python. Alright, so saya nak stop ni dulu. Alright, what is Python? Okay, Python punya ni saya nak share desktop lah. Saya share saya punya desktop. Okay, you all nampak desktop saya tak? So, bila kita pergi kepada, now I'm opening the browser. Okay, saya buka python.org. Okay, this is python.org that I introduced earlier. This is the website. So nak download, ni dia. You can download. Automatically it will introduce you to the platform or Windows yang you all guna. Just click on there dan dia akan install and you can install in your computer. Okay, so sekarang ni bila dah install, dah run dan install, anda akan jumpa ni. Saya akan buka this one, IDLE. Right, so this is the Python shell. So contohnya, I write a code, print, welcome to, dah nampak dia akan keluar some guideline, programming class. Okay, this is one single line of Python programming. Saya enter dan you akan nampak the output in blue. Okay, you akan nampak output dia dalam warna biru. So the shell can run. So contohnya I have another one, print x kali 100. So you can see this is one of the tests. But by using idle, you can create new file, new file. Okay, kat sini kita tulis code. Kat sini kita tengok output. Okay. Ini untuk tulis code. Well, this one untuk see the output. Okay. So, for example, saya stop. Saya nak tulis kat sini. Print. Hello. Print. Welcome to YouTube. Alright, so saya save sebab this is actually an untitled file. Save. In document, saya letak nama dia activity1 and save. The file name is Python. So I just need to click run and run module. So bila saya run, dia keluar kat belah sini. Nampak tak?
Nampak.
Okay, so sebelah kanan adalah tempat kita tulis kod, sebelah kiri adalah tempat kita lihat apakah paparan output. So the file on the right, so you can open a new file, you can close, you can save. So dia akan jadi banyak-banyak Python file save. So all the .py file is a Python file. So once you get the Python file, you run, you boleh nampak dia punya output. Okay, so that's what yang saya tunjukkan tadi. So tadi itu adalah Python, introducing you to the Python punya platform itself in order to us run the code. So back to the programming. So programming, remember that bahasa pengaturcaraan or programming language is actually writing a code that understandable by the computer in order to do activities or instruction by kita as a programmer. Okay, kita adalah human being, kita yang bagi instruction. In order to give the instruction, we have to write using the computer programming punya languages. Okay, so kita kena buat macam tu lah. Okay, now, so when we are talking about the programming language, kita kena tahu beberapa perkara. We have to know a few things, which is data structure. So in Python, data structure divided into two categories, okay, which is primitive dan non-primitive data structures. Okay, primitive data structure is actually a simplest form, data yang paling mudah sekali kita guna pakai, while the non-primitive is actually a more complex data, right? So more complex data maksudnya lebih kompleks lah. Alright, data yang primitive, you can actually divide it into a few, Boolean ataupun numeric. Okay, Boolean ataupun numeric. So numeric kita boleh pecah dia kepada dua, integer, sebab integer we can change that into numbers and characters. While numeric juga boleh dibagikan kepada data yang nombor bertitik perpuluhan. Okay, so integer is a number, char is a character. So integer can be divided into different type. Contohnya byte, which is small numbers. Long adalah nombor yang lebih banyak. Character ni macam A, B, C, D, E, F, G and symbols. Okay, floating ialah nombor yang ada titik perpuluhan. So float and double, kalau double dia punya titik perpuluhan dia lebih banyak. Right, non-primitive dalam Python adalah class, array, string. This is actually an example of non-primitive data structure in Python. Okay, so primitive data structure contain very pure simple values of data. Like this, integer, float and Boolean. Right, so we go to satu demi satu. Integer. So integer is actually represent a numeric data. Nombor-nombor titik, nombor-nombor biasa, positif dan negatif, like 4, 5 or negative 1. Float adalah nombor bertitik perpuluhan. This is an example, 1.11 or 3.14 is a float numbers type, okay, data structure. So any number you enter in Python will be interpreted as a number, right? So contoh macam ni, so when you masukkan 138, dia akan kira sebagai integer. Kalau you masukkan 138.0, dia akan jadi float. Python detect terus ya, dia akan terus detect the type of data structure that you type in. Boolean is a special type of data primitive yang ada nilai dua saja, iaitu true ataupun false, and in computer they will be represented with 0 and 1. So 1 is true, 0 is false. Alright, so booleans usually kita gunakan untuk conditional or comparison expression. Okay, ini adalah non-primitive dalam Python, array, list and string. So this is actually a data yang lebih daripada satu. For example, strings is a collection of alphabets, words or other character. So dalam Python kita boleh create string by letakkan dua titik bertindih, double quotes or single quotes. So for example here, C is actually a character, A is a character, but when you combine C, A, K, E, dia akan jadi string. Okay. So nama kita apa? Data structure-nya. You all punya nama. Apa dia? Karakter ke? Float ke?
Alphabet.
Alphabet. Alphabet itu dalam bahasa Inggeris. But in Python, it will be represented with this type of data. Okay. Ni. This one. So your name is actually a string. Your name, nama kamu, your name is actually a string. Yeah, this one. Ni, string. Okay. It's a sequence of character, a combination of alphabets. So nama kita adalah string. Okay. So kalau nombor telefon?
Integer ke float?
Nombor telefon integer ke float ke string?
Integer.
Okay, dia sebenarnya adalah string.
Oh. Walaupun dia number.
Walaupun dia nombor. Kenapa? Because it's actually have no meaning of you doing any kind of numerical atau proses-proses penambahan penolakan kepada nombor telefon kan?
Oh, okay.
Walaupun dia diwakili oleh nombor, dia sebenarnya adalah index. It's just like an index for a certain to identify your phone punya ID. Jadi 0177106419 is actually a collection of numeric data. So dia adalah string. Tapi kalau umur, age?
Integer.
Yes. Umur adalah integer because you can add your age, you can divide, you can minus your age. And make a calculation with it. Okay, so that's the difference dengan di antara nombor dengan string. So string ni boleh collection of alphabet character saja or a combination of alphanumerics. Okay, contohnya SPPP2102 is actually a string, correct. Okay, now array ini mungkin you'll feel like something new. So dalam programming dia memang perlukan array. So array is actually a collection of basic data types of the same data. Basic data type of the same data types. So it's actually supported by the array module. Dia ada nama module dia, nama dia array. Right, so need to be imported before you start utilizing. So we need to type in this one, import array as tata susunan. Tata susunan ni nama yang kita bagi sajalah. Right, dia kita boleh gunakan. Right, so array can combine a few character like a list of names. So sebenarnya nama pelajar SPPP2102 kita boleh simpan dia dalam array. Right, so kita akan dapat pelajar 1, pelajar 2, pelajar 3, pelajar 4. Or a list of phone number, or a list of customer ID, a list of customer name, a list of address, customer's address, okay? Senarai nama pelajar, senarai grade pelajar. So we can put that into an array. So this fall under non-primitive data structure. Kalau ada soalan, just tanya saja ya. Alright, so list in Python, this is another one. Nanti saya introduce dulu kat anda semua. Nanti when we go into the programming, kita akan gunakan data-data ni. Alright, so it's a store collection of heterogeneous items. Right, so sebenarnya dalam Python dia tak ada array. Okay, dia jarang guna array. Walaupun ada array tapi kita tak pakai array. But instead kita gunakan list. Sebab list juga actually karakter dia sama macam array. Right, so dalam Python kita gunakan array. So nak tahu array dia ada kotak ni, bracket, square bracket. So when you see square brackets and then the content atau element atau item dalamnya dipisahkan dengan comma, then we can actually tahulah this is actually a list, which is a data structure. Type data structure adalah list. Alright, so this is an example of list. So contohnya integer list, kalau ni dia tak nampak ada kotak, dia nampak macam kotak. Sebenarnya dia open bracket and close bracket. So whenever you add interim ID, dia akan masukkan dalam elemen. So nampak elemen 1 ada 10, elemen 2 ada 20, elemen 3 ada 30, elemen 4 ada 60 dan add on. Right? So 120. So you can simpan all this dalam list. So dia punya karakter dia sama macam array. Kalau dalam C++ kita panggil dia array. Kalau dalam Python dia lebih sesuai kita gunakan list. Alright, so that is actually data. So data yang paling penting you all kena tahu adalah nombor, karakter, string list. Okay, nombor dia ada dua. Kalau nombor bulat without a titik perpuluhan, nombor positif atau negatif ialah integer. Kalau dia adalah nombor bertitik perpuluhan with a floating value, kita panggil dia float ataupun double.